Distilling Company. Visit blackpowdercoffee.com or stop by and see us at 261 Rolling Hill Road in Mooresville. Black Powder Coffee.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek, who has traveled the world and brought us back such knowledge and wisdom from across the seven seas. How was it? Did you have a good time?
It was amazing, much needed rest, beautiful beaches, amazing food. I'm very happy and ready to face the rest of the year.
Okay, sure. You've got beautiful views, probably comfy pillows, all the snacks and things in the world you ever want, all the drinks with all the little umbrellas. What was your favorite part, though, of the entire trip?
My daughter's birthday at the teppanyaki restaurant at the resort.
Oh.
Because I surprised her. She knew it was the day before, but I had candles and we had the whole restaurant singing, which would be usually it would be a moment of like, don't do it. But I think she was caught so off guard that she enjoyed it. And I had the pink 18, the candles and everything. So it was fun.
Are you jet lagged still from flying?
Oh, it's nothing. Are you kidding me? I'm used to traveling far away.
I was wondering if you were going to come back.
3-hour flight for me is nothing. I could walk to Mexico.
Maybe I did have a little inkling in the back of my head, Claudia always wanted to be a flight attendant, living vicariously, potentially through your daughter as you're pushing her toward that direction.
Yes. I'm not pushing. I'm just, letting her embrace.
Okay. Showing her, imparting wisdom.
Yes.
Should we say it that way? Okay, imparting wisdom.
Every flight we get, I find a way to talk to the flight attendants and ask questions in front of her. And they all love it. So it's good because she hears over and over again, I love my job. I love my job. So.
All right. So have buyers and sellers in the local marketplace in the past week magically embraced wisdom and know everything that's happening, and as the market is well prepared right now? How's that going?
It's impossible to know everything. But we go, we learn. I learn with my clients learn with me, and we move forward. I have 2 new houses under contract.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
With no inventory in the market, the one
And
with
then,
2 under
yes,
contract.
and then there could have been a third, but we looked at a house, everything, the list was correct. Other than the backyard, everything matched what they wanted. So we left and they said, okay, we were going to talk at 3:00 to strategize the offer. And as we started talking about, how can we lower due diligence?
Sorry to interrupt you like that. Are you a phone strategizer, or do you like to come over to the client's house? Let's sit down at the kitchen table and write this out.
I don't like phone. So if it's on the phone, we do it FaceTime. I like to see the expression.
Okay.
Like on the phone, I don't do phones ever. Well,
Gauge the reactions.
I like to see the face. Yes. So, but then we were on FaceTime, 3:00, strategizing. Okay, we don't want to give a higher due diligence. How can we make a strong offer without offering too much money? And as we were talking, I stopped them. I'm like, I have to be honest. I don't think you should put an offer. This is not the house for you.
At all?
At all. And they stopped for a second and they're like, thank you. Because deep inside we knew it, but we were not brave enough to express that this is not the one. It's crazy that you are the agent is telling us this is not the one. And I'm like, I didn't feel it. This is not the one for you. And I know that they will eventually move again, but I know they want to stay in this house for a while. They have 2 small children.
Because moving twice would be so fun right now. That's why. Yeah.
Yes. And so I said, no, don't do it. And they're like, thank you. We appreciated you before, and now you got, hundreds of extra points with us because you're telling us what we, deep inside, we wanted to hear. So coming from you, the agent who would make money if we got the house now, it means a lot.
All right. So 3 out of X number of buyers will find out fighting over how many pieces of real estate available, active on the market, active and coming soon in Canopy MLS. The bet is over under. What was it last time we were together? 1,078, something like that. Yes. We'll say that. Okay. Do you think that active coming soon, 500,000 or less, Mecklenburg County, more than last time we looked at the numbers together on the market?
No, because people are graduating people are like kids are coming out of school. It's too much. I don't think now
The
things
pandemonium and
slow
chaos.
down for a little bit
Mm.
until people figure out what to do in the summer, and then so I think it's below that.
Okay, that's the bet. We're going to find that out later. We don't know right now. I have not
We never
gone
know. I
on.
never check, by the way.
No, we don't. We log into the MLS Live in real time and find
Yes.
out what's going on. Canopy MLS, the local MLS here that has the most local data because it's by the brokers and agents that submit
Yes.
directly into the system. Did the market fall apart after the NAR settlements that have been announced and now everybody knows about? Everybody's
No,
good. Market didn't
no,
fall
we're
apart.
still going. No,
Oh wow,
no,
amazing.
it's
Okay,
still going.
it's cool
I
how
think,
that goes.
as I said, I think educated people understand how it works, appreciate the agents, the good agents. I don't think much will change. I think the bad agents will eventually leave, and I'm happy and I'll be here.
All of that's relative. What's not relative is you have to maintain your house. You have to. Maintenance Monday. We were going to have to
Oh,
do
yeah,
Maintenance
of
Monday
course,
today at
yes,
some point.
yes, mhm.
One of the big pieces of maintenance, we've talked about HVAC in the past, roofing. Roofing is a huge part.
Yes.
Kind of a big expense whenever it pops up on the old
Yes.
inspection report.
And I think in the past few months, I think it became even a bigger, more important issue than ever. And we will talk about it. I will explain why I think roofing is like a major thing right now.
Are you a roofing
More
expert?
than ever.
Are you a roofing expert?
I have someone here to help.
Oh, that's right. Because when you work with the right professional and the brokerage
Yes.
side, then you get connected
Yes.
with all the other wonderful
Yes.
vendors in
So
the
on
marketplace. That's right.
on a negotiating part of it, I understand what happens, but I'm not the specialist. We have someone here.
Okay, we've got Tony from 21 Roofing Group. We'll talk with him throughout the show too, find out what's going on with roofs out here.
Yes.
We had hail recently, did we? Did we or did we not? Maybe.
Did we?
Maybe not.
When?
So there's always a weather event, though,
Oh,
right?
yes.
I'm always
Yeah.
making claims. Come on the insurance game.
always?
Come on, you got to make
Be
claims.
careful. Be careful.
How many buyers and sellers when you talk to them about the roof, do they want to make the claim on the insurance if they have to?
Well, this is again a new conversation that I'm having with them. It's not a matter of wanting or not. I really think it's a matter of you need to now. You need to do it as fast as you can.
You're talking about during you pre-listing.
Pre-listing. It's my new thing. We talk about like at the listing appointment or right after. Roofing is one of my first conversations before we put the house on the market.
Okay,
Extremely important.
You also recommend to every seller, I believe, quote me, tell me if I'm wrong, to get a pre-inspection on a property before you go to
Not
market?
necessarily.
No? Okay.
No.
What
But
about
like
roofing?
a full thing? Yes. Now 100%. All of them.
All in on the roof.
All of them. Yes. So pre-inspection to some of the clients, yes. Not always, but the roofing now is like my number one thing.
Have you had a roof that had to be replaced and it was a big
Yes.
expense?
Yes.
Do you remember what the number was on the
I
roof?
think
How
it
much
was about 16,000. Yes.
That's not light these days.
And the insurance did not cover it
of course not.
because it wasn't my sellers. I had the buyers, but yeah, it was an issue, and that's one of the reasons. This is not the only reason, but this is one of the examples I'm using to make sure my sellers have the roof inspected before we list the house, before I ever touch MLS. I want to know how the roof is and if it will be covered, if it needs to be replaced, everything.
So did I do a spoiler? Is Maintenance Monday roofs? Are we
No,
hitting?
it's
Oh,
not.
you've got something
It was
else.
roofed the other day.
Oh, that's
2
right.
weeks
This
ago.
was like 2
Yes,
weeks ago.
yes.
Gosh, why are roofs so important? My goodness.
I know. We're talking about it again.
Okay, and then we're also again going to get the over/under. Is Claudia right? Less than last time we came together, 500,000 or less. Mecklenburg County, active and coming soon. How many units are available on market right now? We're going to talk about that. We've got Tony with 21 Roofing Group. We're going to talk roofs. It's a
Yes.
pretty important,
Very
pretty big
important.
expense. Looking forward to that conversation. You can be watching us, hanging out with us on the WSIC News app right now.
Yep.
More of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
We're getting back to typical summertime across the Lake Norman area as we head into a brand new week, the first full week of June. I feel like summer humidity is back. We'll see high temperatures in the mid-80s for this afternoon. We're on the low chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Don't expect very much. We'll see the chance for rain, chance for pop-up storms increasing a bit through the middle of the week. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses. like ISI Denver.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. The Ben Gatlin Band performs 2 local shows beginning Thursday with Langtree Live in Mooresville on June 6th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert beginning at 7. Gatlin then offers a solo show Friday on the Brookdale Village stage with the Live Under the Oaks concert series. Back-to-back free music with Ben Gatlin beginning on Thursday at Langtree in Mooresville and then Friday at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. The popular Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 concert series offers free entertainment this week in Statesville. 80s tribute band Kids in America performs at 6 p.m. on West Broad Street in front of Mitchell Community College. Food and beverages will be available for purchase at 5. Bring your chairs and enjoy a night of music this Friday in downtown Statesville. The 3rd annual Dock and Rock Music Festival returns on Saturday at Waterside Bar and Grill in Catawba. Performances by Ryan Joyce, Danny Carr, Red Dirt Revelators, the Presley Layton Band, Alec Ottaway, and Feathered Roots begin at 4 p.m. on the stage and concert system powered by Waves Entertainment. We'll see you Saturday at Waterside Bar and Grill in Catawba. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 1 of summer camps begins Monday, June 10th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 8 to 15 include ceramics, art, media, Broadway, and paint. For more information on summer camp programs, visit canearts.org. That's C-A-I-N arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-week series opening night race is on Monday, June 10th, and night 2 following on Tuesday, June 11th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here are your hosts, Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Traveling the world, but things have to continue back at home. We have to focus on our home marketplace now, Claudia, and we will take a look at the stats. Over, under, are there more active and coming soon units than last time we were together, 500,000 or less in Mecklenburg County? But we need to talk about roofs first before we get to that.
Okay, yes.
Don't be throwing out your guesses. Like, you might change your mind. I don't know. Something might hit you. You might get like a spidey sense. No. More units hit the market. That might happen. But for now, let's focus on roofs. Probably one of the most expensive things to, when you have to replace it, that you have to replace. Is that a fair set? Tony with 21 Roofing Group, excuse me. 21 Roofing Group. Roof, do you guys consider yourself like kind of the cream of the crop, most expensive piece of the home when it needs to be replaced?
I would say absolutely. You want to protect your home from the exterior first, no matter what. A lot of people tend to want to get the nice cushy stuff on the interiors. And then they end up calling us when their brand new ceilings and brand new electrical and stuff have gotten damaged. So ideally, we really would love for people to understand that and get the roof done first, but priorities sometimes get mixed up, and hopefully on this show we can kind of guide some people in the right direction as to why it may not be the prettiest, most fun thing to do, but it's absolutely the most necessary.
Tony Garay of 21 Roofing Group, 21 the number 21 roofinggroup.com. Claudia, how did you meet Tony? Tell me about, you only bring on the best of the best on here, so tell me about your experiences with Tony and 21 Roofing Group.
Oh my God, do I remember the first time? I think he was, I'm not going to remember exactly why. I think he was referred by someone I trusted, another realtor, and we've been together since then. Every time I have people that need roofing estimates or inspections, when the regular home inspector points out something about roofing, I always give him a call. So, and this has been for at least 5 years, even more, maybe.
Yeah. So, Tony, 21 Roofing Group, you'll find 21 reasons to make us your roofing company is what it says on it. Go.
Absolutely.
No, I'm just kidding.
So you know the 21 by heart?
There's 21. I could probably think of more than 21, but they can go to the website and check it out.
Absolutely.
But, with Claudia, I think it was either I spoke at your office one day and we met, or you got referred. Mm-hmm. But the relationship is so good because she bought into the way we try to make things flow in the right direction. So per se, she doesn't wait till a transaction finds issues. She calls us out prior to look for the issues. And one of the main things we have going on now is insurance claims. So what happens is a lot of these buyers are like, oh, I'll just get the roof done when I buy. And then they're purchasing the home. A week or two later, they're trying to place these claims through the insurance company, but they weren't the insured during whatever storm was there. So, Claudia understands that concept. She has us come out to inspect the property prior so that if, God forbid, there is storm damage to that roof, now the seller's placing the claim. They were the one insured during the storm, and then we can properly place the claim for them and take them through the process. One of the biggest fears for sellers and buyers of doing so is timing. But honestly, within 24 to 48 hours of the claim call, that adjuster's coming out to the property. And then within less than a week, we're already done with the roof. The warranties are transferable to the buyer. So it's like a seamless process that freaks out a lot of people when they don't know about it. So coming on here with the opportunity to share with the public is huge.
It's definitely a process working with insurance groups. You guys probably know, you ask the questions up front. I have no doubt. Okay, who's your insurance provider? Do you ever have the moment where you want to just say, now you'll go through the process same. I know you will for the customer service aspect of it. But you guys got to know, like certain insurance companies, you know which way the likelihood is. At least a vast majority are going to go.
100%. But we know the ones that are really sticklers. And sometimes we encourage the customer to fight, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are putting in the claim. We're not storm chasers, right? We don't go knock on doors. Everything of ours is 100% word of mouth. So when we're notifying these customers that they have storm damage, we mean it. We have evidence to back it up. To be honest with you, in Charlotte, we're not a big storm state, right? Storm city. So 80% of the time, we're telling customers, look, you just don't have enough evidence, right? And we're blessed enough to have a good following where 90% of our roof replacements are out of pocket, right? We're not in one of these states that constantly have them. Texas per se, you're getting your roof done every 8 months and insurance is covering it. So we're kind of blessed that we don't have a lot of storms here.
And go look at insurance in Florida right now. Look at all that going
look
on.
at insurance in Florida. Look at Rock Hill. They just got nailed by a nasty, nasty hailstorm, softball-sized hail with 75 to 95 mile per hour winds.
That'd be scary.
So just imagine throwing a softball, 80 miles per hour to a window, or to a roof. It caused a lot of damage, So a lot of people pray for hailstorms here. We don't, even though we're in the roofing.
Just within the 30-day window, though.
Exactly. Yeah, so we run into a lot of that. We run into people trying to, force our decision, right? Hey, you told me it doesn't have, but I had 6 people knock on my door. All those 6 people said I had hail. What's the difference? And I said, well, we're here to be here for the long haul. A lot of these storm chasing companies are here for the shortfall, right? They're here as soon as the storm happens. They collect as many roofs as they can, and then they're gone. And then you have a warranty claim later on down the line, and you have nobody to claim it to,
Because it ties back to the roofing company, right? That's all, it's not the insurance company you can double dip into. No way.
Absolutely. The insurance company is going to say, listen, we paid for this storm, for this damage. You chose the roofer because the insurance company will not. And, you decided to not do your homework and you went with somebody who's not really there to warrant. So
what about when the insurance company recommends a roofing company? Should someone be concerned about that?
So I'll tell you what, it's a big gray line, right? A lot of insurance companies do not want to refer, and rightfully so. We're one of the companies that are blessed to have a lot of backing by the insurance company. And that's because they know that we don't mess around, right? We're not there to, push claims. We're there when there's actual evidence. We have a great relationship with the adjusters in town. They almost all know us. When they see our truck pull up, they're like, okay, this is 21 Roofing. This is a legit claim. I'm not getting on this roof for no reason. And we have that bond, right? And many occasions they'll say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but I didn't see what you saw, or I saw this hail to be smaller than what you're claiming it is. And there's no argument there, right? We're like, listen, we trust you guys. We know you're here to do the customer right. And for the most part, they are, even though they work for some big companies that may be, trying not to pay the claim, the adjusters out there, at least the ones that I've met and created relationships with, they have customer first mindset, and that's how we operate as well.
Claudia, that's the buy side most of the time, right? You can't do anything about what another listing agent does with their seller prior to you and your buyer making an offer, potentially getting under contract, going through the due diligence process, having an inspection, finding out that something may be wrong with the roof, right? Then getting Tony and his team out. Let's reverse that equation though and go from the listing side. When you've got a seller, what's the conversation like when you're telling these sellers, I need you to think about seriously getting your roof inspected right now?
Well, this was not, I'm not going to lie. Of course, you always think about the roof, but it wasn't a conversation that was needed. And now I feel the past year, probably, it became a needed conversation because when the buyer is under contract, what's happening is if the roof is older than 10 years, and you can correct me, but about 10-year-old roof, many of the companies will not give a warranty to the buyer. So then you are stuck in a thing, okay, for me to get my loan, I need the home warranty or the insurance, sorry, not the warranty, the insurance. I need my house to be insured. Companies say, no, it's older than 10 years. We don't need it. So to avoid that headache for both sides, because then, okay, is the buyer walking away? Is my seller having to pay the whole thing? Why not getting inspected? Check if everything is okay. Possibly file a claim if needed, because what I feel is that if you are under contract and then again, you're transferring the house, the seller at that point contacts the insurance company. They probably go on Zillow and say, hey, it's under contract. We're not going to do it because they know the house will be sold.
Dang, insurance companies using Zillow
So they,
now.
yes, they are. I think they are using it's public record, and nobody is going to convince me that they're not checking Zillow to see, oh, it's under contract. Yeah, we're not going to cover, because then it's on the buyer, or again, then you force the seller to pay for the replacement, or the other way, buyer, or your deal can fall apart. So why not be proactive before you put on MLS? So nobody knows this house is hitting the market, but me and my sellers call Tony. He comes, he checks, he can say everything is okay, and we go from there. Or you need to replace the roof, and you could file a claim. So all being proactive before we hit the market, because again, I can bet that the homeowner insurance companies are checking Zillow and knowing they are under contract. So they have the power in their hands. And with all due respect, I want to take the power from the homeowner insurance company and give the power to my clients.
Isn't it also, though, like the concept? Because insurance is going to become a factor, even if you do the pre-listing inspection on it. Let's say insurance denies it, seller doesn't want to pay it. As long as there's not water coming through, we can have a conversation and debate, because I do want to talk about in the next segment, we're coming up on the break, the different types of shingles. You got 30-year architectural, and you got, I've seen, you got clay shingles around. You got all metal roofs. You got all different kinds of roofs, even almost around here. Not to mention gutters and everything else that come along with it, right? You've got beautiful French drains and this running kind of plumbing situations running through everywhere, right? And drainage stuff. How you sort through that, right, on the buy and the sell side, and what's the practical side of it when it comes out in a transaction. In this market, as tight as the inventory is, but as high as prices are, you can't get the repairs negotiated the way you want. What do you do?
Yeah, it's extremely important. Everything, as you mentioned, everything is important. How the due diligence fee was paid and who has the power. There's so many moving parts that are extremely important to have someone that understands everything that can help you.
Because this is
to make the right decision.
The standard North Carolina offer purchase and contract, 2 that almost every residential real estate brokerage firm uses across it. You don't have to, but they do. It says the property is being purchased as is, right? As is. So everything's a negotiation from that point forward, and understanding that becomes very important for buyers. I
always tell people sellers don't have to do it. Of course, 99% of them do something, of course, because they want to sell the house, but the house is always sold as is. Don't expect anything. And this is how it goes.
Is that still true even with interest rates, everything else like that right now?
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing's changed with that. That's still sellers are most of control?
I would say in most situations, yes. Yes, sellers still have the control.
Do you ask the sellers a lot of times what interest rate they're sitting on right now if they've got?
I do, because it's fun to know.
I know. I know you. Yeah, I get you. I understand.
It's fun to know.
More with Tony, hanging out, talking about 21 Roofing Group. 21, the number, roofinggroup.com. More roofs up next.
We'll be back with more of today's Real Talk, hosted by Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis, in just a moment on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
We'll get back to typical summertime across the Lake Norman area as we head into a brand new week, the first full week of June. I feel like summer humidity is back. We'll see high temperatures in the mid-80s for this afternoon. We'll run the low chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Don't expect very much. We'll see the chance for rain, chance for pop-up storms increasing a bit through the middle of the week. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
What if you could wake up pain-free so you can leave the stress behind and conquer your day? Serenity Now Massage Therapy. 2 locations in Mooresville and Cornelius. Or book your next massage at serenityNowMassageandWellness.com.
Is your AC ready for the summer? Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is in the Lake Norman area to make sure Mother Nature is no match for your system. Experience the feeling of awe. HornHVAC.com. Schedule your maintenance today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Airfares are soaring and so are profits at airlines. The world's carriers are on track to rake in more than $30 billion just in profit this year. A trade group, the International Air Transport Association, credits higher airfares and continued travel demand for that boost. On Wall Street, stocks are mostly lower to start the new month after a read on U.S. manufacturing was lower than expected last month. Orders for new goods falling to a near 2-year low. That's got investors worried about the strength of the economy, and right now it's got the Dow down 0.2%. The Nasdaq is flat. The S&P is down about 1/3. Ford Motors says it's on track to be the first mass-market automaker offering fully autonomous vehicles just 2 years from now, allowing drivers to take their eyes off the road, their hands off the wheel. And Wallet Hub looked at metrics like exports, high-tech jobs, unemployment rates, and more, and found the states with the best standalone economies are Washington, Utah, and Massachusetts. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Call now to speak with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, world traveler, world dominator, back here.
Every week he decides
dominating
to tease
the real
me
estate
on
market.
something.
Hanging out with Tony and 21 Roofing Group, 21 the number, roofinggroup.com. Not just roofing, which we want to talk about the different types of shingles and all that fun stuff. Gutters, siding. It's kind of like the trifecta, man. That's like the whole exterior of a house. What? Not, you don't want to do doors and windows too, just for fun to kind of round it out?
Please do.
No,
I need new windows, please.
To please people like Claudia, we may, but now we also keep a good vendor list, right? And there's a lot of things that we may not do, but I always encourage our customers to give us a call, realtors included, because there may be somebody that we have on our list, and believe it or not, we're constantly deleting off that list too, because people get too big for their britches. They don't return calls for customers. They're not available anymore. So we're constantly shifting our vendor list to try to keep. We're just here to help the public, man. Honestly, we like serving our community. I think that's gone these days, right? People are just out of looking for a buck, and in some cases, it's the state of the economy, right? It calls for people to just have to go out there and make every dollar they can.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes they're not doing the right thing to make that dollar. So I understand both sides of the equation, but I rely on God. He's going to provide always. So we just go there, do what we got to do, serve our customers. And so far for the last 7 years, it comes in.
I have to say, I don't know if you've noticed people I bring here. It's kind of always the same kind of mindset that I have about I'm here to stay. I'm here to help. I'm not thinking about the money today to help. As I was coming here, one of my clients, because you posted and I reposted the thing about Tony coming here. And one of my clients says, I love him. I use him. He did my roof, the gutters, everything else. And I told her, I'm like, I love it because whenever I have questions, anything about, of course, especially roofing, but I text him he answered. It's not like, can you come? Sometimes it's not like, can you come for an estimate? It's just a simple question, and he answers right away. He's not making money, he's not doing anything, and he's helping me. And this is people that I hold on to and I am happy to refer. And this is true. She says the same thing. She's her client. I am a referral partner. I don't get anything many times, and this is something I don't like, but many times people that want me to refer them, they text me, they call me, they try to create a relationship, and they always say to me, hey, if you send me your client, I'll give you, a commission or some money back. And I always say, I don't want I don't need that. I need serious, reliable, honest professionals. And then you do the best price you can. I like don't pay me back because that's not the whole idea. And
You don't want a free $25 Amazon gift card?
Yeah,
I'll give you one
thank
right
you.
now.
No,
I'll give you
I'll take you to lunch. But I'm like, no, it's fine.
You
I
don't like
don't
going to
need
lunch
it.
with me? I like going to lunch with you.
Yes, let's go to
Dang,
ECs
she's
again.
throwing shots
Yes.
right now across
No,
the table.
but you know what I mean. Like, I don't need stop trying to bribe me. And does not happen with him. And again, he's here to help people. He helps me.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not giving him a client, he will help me. He will answer questions. I do the same, and I love it. I
Yep.
love it. It's amazing.
You know, in our industry, a lot of pro bono work
Mhm.
has to take place, right?
Yes.
And that's what establishes you here, right? And if you're here for the long haul and you enjoy what you do, you just do it fluently, right? The
Yep.
same way you live your life. It's just, a different language. You're talking roofing, you're talking real estate, but it's just your lifestyle, right? Whether you go to the grocery store, wherever it is you go, I'm in a marked vehicle all the time. People know it. They stop and talk to me. And,
That's because you go out and do estimates too, right?
absolutely.
So here's the thing. I'm not going to say I'm afraid of heights. I'm not going to say that because I think I can overcome any fear I've got. So I'm not going to say that. But you won't find me on a roof. I'm going to be honest with you, Tony. At what point as a child did you realize you're okay with going up that high in the sky?
As an adult.
Okay.
I was 8 years old when I realized I can do it. Believe it or not, I tried to turn down that roofing opportunity for that same reason. I was in real estate for 20 years prior to this. And I got offered the opportunity and I was like, nope, that's not me. I'm not going to do heights. But then when I saw the numbers and I saw what the flexibility it could provide for my family. And I said, you know what, I gotta dig deep.
I might
and
go a little tall.
I gotta make
get
this
up
happen.
there. I
Yeah.
might climb a ladder.
And I tell you what, one of the best things about the industry today is drones.
Ooh.
So I drone about 90% of my roof estimates, right?
Even easier. No ladder, none of that.
Best part about this is if you're the homeowner, I bring you outside, I show you exactly what I'm looking at in real time.
Oh, wow.
Right? So what homeowner's going to get on the roof with you, right?
Yeah.
They just got to
Yeah,
trust what you said.
Definitely not, yeah.
But I bring
Because
you.
this is true.
Absolutely.
You don't know
know
what.
it. I drone it. I show you in real time. Look, this is hail damage, or look, you have a leak coming from here. And now they're seeing it. And, it just makes the relationship so much more trustworthy. And believe it or not, a lot of homeowners don't want you climbing on their roof. They're like, I don't know if you're going to physically damage it. I don't know if you're going to fall off. And then, I got another insurance claim to place. Right? So I say,
Trust.
A lot of those people, you offer them that second option. Listen, I can drone this property for you. And they're impressed. They enjoy it.
That would just be cool in general.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to drone this. That's so 2024 right there. That's
Absolutely.
really good.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, who climbs? He has, I've seen,
Yep.
It shows you in this box that they don't let me out of very often that has no windows. I don't know what's going on out in the world. So for roofing claims, you get there, you bust out the drone, you do the video. Are the customers potentially getting like a report 24 hours later? Are you handling all the communication? I can go back on the couch in my skivvies and watch, whatever I want sports-wise?
That's a very, very good question. So from the initial call, even if Claudia calls realtor or customer, we're always out to assess the property within 24 to 48 hours of the call. You will always have the report and estimate that same day. Especially for agents, time is of the essence, and we understand that. Buyers and sellers are in a panic, right? They're in a state of movement. They're in a big monumental shift in their lives, and without them ever requesting this from us, we're knowledgeable in that. We understand people, right? I was in real estate for 20 years. I understand what they're going through. So I come with this kind of just peace. Hey, listen, this is just a moment, right? Yes, you have a huge roof leak and you're selling your property, but you know what? We can satisfy it within 3 to 5 days. Oh, but I don't have the money to come up with it right now. Hey, Claudia, can you speak to the title company? Can you make sure that this repair or this replacement gets paid out of the proceeds of closing? So we facilitate the deal. We try to make everybody's life nice and easy because it is an uncomfortable situation. You
Oh,
know?
so you understand that some negotiations likely going to have to take place between buyer and seller. Claudia is going to have to step in and say, okay, let's split the difference. Let's call it 5,000 and seller pay closing costs at the table. Is that kind of what happens
course,
from
there are
time to time?
many. Of course, you never know because
No, I'm putting you in a box right now. You're not allowed to.
there is a box, and the box has different parts.
Yep.
But yeah, it depends on the seller, the buyer, how strong the offer was, how much the seller need the money to close and move on. So moving parts, it's not as easy. I know people think that selling or buying real estate is just
Super
like on
easy. What are you talking
TV,
about?
and you are dealing with
No-brainer.
tons of people, emotions, money. It's a lot more than people can ever imagine. But I have a question.
Yes.
So now let's say that I'm trying to educate my clients not to wait. Let's say there is a storm and they might have hail or damage, wind, whatever. What is the time, the window they have to call you to make sure they might get a claim?
Yeah, it's a lot longer than people think. So every provider will be different. Some providers do up to 3 years. I see the average 2 years.
That's
So it has to
crazy.
be 2 years within the storm time frame for
Okay.
them to be able to claim that certain storm. Right now, that's not an issue because we've had so many storms in the last 12 months, right? So we have very recent storms. But if, prior to these, we had to use storms that were 2 years ago, right? A customer's not walking their roof all the time. They're not sure. So you're selling a property, you called us, they hadn't been any storms within the last 6 months, let's say, and we go and we find hail. We go to our website, 21roofinggroup.com, and you can pull up a storm report right away for free.
Oh, I was going to ask if you have like kind of a Excel spreadsheet. No, you
absolutely.
have
No,
on
this
your
is
app.
live radar, constantly
I
going.
am an Excel spreadsheet person. What can I say? I like everything. So you have an app that you could check
There's an app, and there's
by
also
the area.
by the area, by the
okay.
zone, by the zip code, by the neighborhood. We
Oh,
can
wow.
narrow it down within a 2-mile radius. And you can also see what size hail there was, right? Because if we're talking about, quarter size, it's not really enough to impact architectural shingles. It will impact 3-tab shingles, but not so much architectural shingles.
Okay,
right?
wait a second. You just said the magic. Break them down for me. Architectural, 3-tab.
Yeah.
Are they the right color that my HOA is going to approve or not? That's really my
Well,
question.
HOAs have a big list now because they understand that people are constantly shifting and doing it. So sometimes it's provided by the HOA automatically. And we're aware and we have stock of those main options. But 3-tab is just a one-dimensional shingle. It's all one flat piece. So it's very easy to be damaged by wind, number one, and number two, by hail, right? It could be, golf ball size hail will actually destroy it, right? As opposed to architectural shingles, which are 3-dimensional shingles. They're right now about unlimited wind rating because they've gotten so much better with the technology, with the paper underneath, with the way they stick, with the way they get nailed. And then manufacturers to these days right now are providing a lifetime 50-year warranty on these 30-year shingles because of, the excess time that they've been having. Yes, Claudia, I see you. I see you worried about that
I was
one.
a teacher for many years,
Yeah.
so I know I have to raise my hand. Question.
Yes.
So we had the 30-year, now we have the 50. Why are the companies complaining during transactions that if it's older than 10 years, they're not going to cover it?
So the only companies that are complaining about that is the actual insurance company themselves.
I know. Can you name names?
I'm
kidding.
I cannot name names.
Oh, you
I'd love
can.
to.
Yeah,
Can you give callers?
I'd
or,
love
or
to.
sing jingles?
But this is a very sensitive subject, and I'll give you a quick example of it. I had a gentleman call me about 6 months ago. He says, "I don't care what the price is. I know you guys are the right people. I need you to come replace my roof immediately because the insurance company is asking me to replace it or they're going to drop me." So I said, "Perfect. Here's a sale," right? Book him the next day, show up to his house. I look at the roof and I'm like, this roof looks pretty new, right? Didn't tell the customer yet. I decided to walk up on the roof, and I get up on the roof, and there was some wind damaged shingles. It was architectural.
Let's finish that story just on the other side of the break. Tony with 21 Roofing Group hanging out with us. Also, is Claudia right on how many active incumbency
I'm
listings?
never right.
Uh-oh.
More of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
We're getting back to typical summertime across the Lake Norman area as we head into a brand new week, the first full week of June. I feel like summer humidity is back. We'll see high temperatures in the mid-80s for this afternoon. We'll run the low chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Don't expect very much. We'll see the chance for rain, chance for pop-up storms increasing a bit through the middle of the week. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. The Ben Gatlin Band performs 2 local shows beginning Thursday with Langtree Live in Mooresville on June 6th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert beginning at 7. Gatlin then offers a solo show Friday on the Birkdale Village stage with the Live Under the Oaks concert series. Back-to-back free music with Ben Gatlin beginning on Thursday at Langtree in Mooresville and then Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. The popular Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 concert series offers free entertainment this week in Statesville. 80s tribute band Kids in America performs at 6 p.m. on West Broad Street in front of Mitchell Community College. Food and beverages will be available for purchase at 5. Bring your chairs and enjoy a night of music this Friday in downtown Statesville. The 3rd annual Dock and Rock Music Festival returns on Saturday at Waterside Bar and Grill in Catawba. Performances by Ryan Joyce, Danny Carr, Red Dirt Revelators, the Presley Layton Band, Alec Ottaway, and Feathered Roots begin at 4 p.m. on the stage and concert system powered by Waves Entertainment. We'll see you Saturday at Waterside Bar and Grill in Catawba. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 1 of summer camps begins Monday, June 10th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 8 to 15 include ceramics, art, media, Broadway, and paint. For more information on summer camp programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-week series opening night race is on Monday, June 10th, and night 2 following on Tuesday, June 11th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. And we're talking with Tony of 21 Roofing Group. 21, the number, roofinggroup.com. Not just roofing, though, also siding, also gutters, repairs and replacements on the roof too.
Repairs and replacements.
That's a pretty wide variety. Do you ever see siding and gutter claims in insurance, like part of due diligence, and then buyers or sellers trying to claim it through insurance? You ever see that?
100%, especially right now on Rock Hill where everything was damaged. I mean, siding shredded apart, gutters just dinged up completely. I mean, it was insane. But yeah, it's more rare than the roofing side, but you absolutely will get it in the claim.
And I was going to ask if you're licensed in South Carolina, so you just answered the question.
Yep, and we're GC licensed as well in South Carolina and North Carolina.
Don't get Claudia excited on the GC part of it right now. So do you serve, how far north do you serve to? How far north will you go?
Up to Statesville,
pretty
much.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Statesville, there was definitely some big storms there the past few weeks. I mean, my gosh, the thunderstorms that have been rolling through here.
Lots of wind damage there.
Give Tony's team a call. Definitely 21 Roofing Group, 21 the number, roofinggroup.com. You can reach out to us too. You can always drop a line on the WSIC News app, and let's see if somebody's got a note for Claudia probably at some point here soon. We'll pass that along to her. We'll see. All right, let's do this though before we play and have more fun.
He has to finish the story.
Oh wait, yeah, I forgot about the story. That's on my fault.
Right. So I left off where I went to check this gentleman's roof out, and I saw a little bit of wind damage, but the roof was not that bad, honestly. So I let the customer know, look, in reality, this thing doesn't need to be replaced, you know? Just shot myself in the foot for a sale, but it's the honest thing to say. So he tells me, well, here's the letter. I read the letter, and it 100% says we're going to drop you if not. So I said, all right, let's play a strategy here. Call the provider, let them know that I found wind damage to the roof, and have the adjuster come out to assess the property. Sure enough, the adjuster gets there before I do. I finally show up. He's already up on the roof, and he looks at me from the roof down, looking at me like a clown. And he says, what are you doing placing a claim on this roof? And I said, well, I found some missing shingles. And he goes, yeah, this is just ridge cap alone, and it's just missing, and it's not a big deal. And I said, you mind if I get up on the roof with you? So I walked the roof with him. I already knew the roof was in good condition. I just wanted him to tell me. So I'm walking, and he's like, that's not damaged. That's not damaged. And I said, you're right. And I said, so how much life do you give on this roof? And he says, this roof has easily 20 years on it. And the customer was downstairs. And I said, did you hear that? He says, yeah. And I said, well, I wanted you out here because this customer just received a letter stating that he must replace his roof, within a week, or you're going to drop him. So the adjuster was just turned blue. He says, let me see the letter. Sure enough, saw the letter, factual, tried to make, 4 or 5 phone calls throughout the time. And he says, listen, there's no damage to this roof. This roof is in good condition, very repairable. And they still told the customer that he had to replace his roof. If not, they were going to drop him.
Just
So-
cause.
Just cause.
Dang,
So,
ruthless.
we're doing the right thing here. The easiest thing for me would have been to write up the sale, replace this customer's brand new roof, and we're trying to provide the customer the right way. But this is what's happening with these insurance companies now. They're just treating everybody like another number, and it's not a healthy thing for the market.
On the other hand, I've seen the opposite happen. Like a roof, the one we were talking about during the break, clearly with damage, and the company said, we are not replacing it. We are not and it didn't matter. They did not replace it.
Yep.
Yeah, it happened to me. I ended up having to replace my roof just out of pocket because the company I use was one of the biggest players, right? There's no doubt anybody would know the name. And they look at it and they say, well, wait a second. This isn't a single incident damage situation. This is life of the roof, normal wear and tear over X number of years. We're not going to contribute all of this to one. What they did contribute to a storm or an incident wasn't barely enough to even cover a deductible because they just wanted to go that route. And I didn't feel like it was going to be a whole long drawn out thing. I'm not trying to sell or anything like that. It was more of maintenance, right? And
Which is
keeping up.
Very important.
Especially if you're sitting on a 3% mortgage right now and you're thinking you're about to strap in for the long haul, don't let it get to the point of too bad, because why risk the insurance? You know what I mean? Like, sure, if you can look at it and say, okay, this thing's got years and you got to wait for another storm. But if you're close and tearing that line, the last thing you want is get to a situation where over the weekend you're going to have to move to a hotel, right? Like, you don't want to do all that kind of stuff and deal with that.
And again, going back to you and people maybe trying to figure out if they need you or not, is there something they should think about before calling you? I know you do free estimates. Am I crazy?
We do free estimates for the public. We charge $99 for real estate brokers.
Why?
Because it's also 100% refundable if the work gets done with us.
Okay.
So,
See?
it just
See
keeps
how hard it is
keeps
for
us very
realtors?
busy.
We pay $99. But then, as a homeowner, if I didn't have a storm, but I'm not 100% sure, like right now, do I have any windstorm, or what should I think about before giving you a call?
Very good
Of course,
question.
you don't want anyone just calling just for fun. So,
Yeah.
what should make me give you a call?
What people need to remember is that roofs do require maintenance.
Of
They do
course.
require tune-ups, right? Just like your vehicle does, a roof does as well. Every 6 to 8 years is what we like to call it on average. We offer a program called Proactive Prevention, which I've mentioned to you before. So shingles are made so well nowadays that it really is nearly impossible for the actual shingles themselves to leak unless they're storm damage. But the penetrations to the roof, anytime you have ventilation, you have
Boots,
HVAC
right?
flutes, boots, all that stuff deteriorates. They're rubber, they deteriorate within the next 6 to 8 years, and you need maintenance. So this is another reason they should call us. Yeah, I haven't seen a storm in a long time, but I'm getting ready to go to the market, or I'm getting ready to, rehab my home, and I'm doing proactive prevention. So we offer those programs as well, right? Many roofing companies, probably 90+%, do not want to touch a repair, right? 60% of our business is repairs as well. So we look to prolong the life of the existing roof as well. We're not just looking to replace the roof, which is why we have such a good relationship with brokers, because in many occasions we facilitate the deal by prolonging the existing roof. And, now the customer's satisfied, transfer the warranty to the buyer. So now they're backed by, a year on repairs, 10 years on replacements. And then that relationship goes to them, right? So it's important to have many different avenues and to look at all these things. But for the customer, it cost them nothing to call us out and take a look at the property.
Okay, so every 6 to 8 years.
Every 6 to 8
This is
years.
pretty amazing. And did you see on my Instagram? I think I did because I tagged you about washing the roof to remove
Yeah.
dirt and.
So prior, manufacturers had an issue with that because a lot of people were washing these roofs off and taking the granulars off the roof, right? But the shingles, again, have improved. The technology has gotten so much better that a lot of manufacturers, not all, are allowing the roofs to be cleaned, and they still will keep warranty in place, right? So if anybody out there is concerned, give us a call. We could check the manufacturer and give you an accurate answer prior to having your roof cleaned.
Okay, that's amazing.
What's been the craziest roof scenario you've seen? How bad?
Oh, man, I would have to say, well, let's talk a different bad, right? When we have to do a roof that's a 14 pitch, meaning this is like a wall, it's a pretty scary situation.
Oh, yeah. Back to heights.
Yeah, back to heights. That's the sense of bad. But Rock Hill right now is probably the worst I've ever seen. You had crater-sized holes in this roof. You felt really bad for the customer because the house was really destroyed, right? Here in Charlotte, we're typically, a little hail on the roof. We got to get that replaced. Everything's fine. These people had every windshield in their cars broken, the siding, the flashing, everything was just dinged up and really damaged. Trees falling on houses. So that's probably the worst of it when it comes to storm-related stuff. But, it's why we're here, man. We enjoy what we do, right? Now we get to go out there, calm the customer down. Hey, listen, this is a first world problem. You have a beautiful home. This is just some damage. Nobody got hurt. Let us come in here. We'll be in and out of your hair in a week or two max. You just give them a sense of peace. That's really what people are looking for, is a sense of peace.
Let's say, oh, sorry, go ahead. No, I apologize. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry.
How long, not after storm, just a regular roof replacement, how long does it take for you to come clean and redo? How many days?
Maximum 5 to 7 business days from contract signing. We'll be in and out.
But when the guys start working?
When the guys start working, it depends on the size of the roof. Anything under 60 squares, we're probably doing in 1 day. If it's plus 60 squares, 2 or 3 days. One of the days is always quality control and cleanup. Because one of the things we like to do is we don't market, right? So our marketing is word of mouth. So when the neighbors see your crew out there, cleaning up every fine detail, every piece of shingle, every nail, running large magnets so that kids and dogs don't get hurt.
I was going to say, I'm a barefoot warrior.
There you
go.
And
the kids?
Same
Me
here.
and the kids? I got dirty feet, Claudia. Don't even look at my feet right now.
I'm a grounder. I like grounding and bring myself to
I believe you.
So we do that. So that may take an extra day or so, but we provide the customer with process photos as we're going along to do the work. Then we provide them with final photos once everything is complete. This way they have a little portfolio, so when they go to sell, now they're showing the buyer, hey, look, this was a condition of the roof prior. We got this done. Now you have the roof. And by the way, the warranty is transferable to you, buyer. So if somebody did their roof with us, have 10 years labor, 5 years down the line they're selling, you have 5 years left on the labor, and then another 45 years left on the shingle.
Everybody's looking for the warranties right now in this market.
Absolutely.
Everybody's like, but this is again something, and unfortunately, I know many people go after the cheapest whatever, and then you end up paying the price for trying to save $500 now. You pay a much higher price than having a good company that it's crazy to me. It's your house. It's the most expensive thing that you have other than kids.
Yeah.
So take good care of it.
Price go up. That's it. That's the marketplace. Most expensive thing you buy, likely in your life, is your home. Mecklenburg County, population is 1.1 million, Claudia. I don't know if you forgot that since the last time we were together.
I think it's 1.2 at this point.
1.2, even better. All right.
Probably.
So active, coming soon properties in Canopy MLS, 500,000 or less in Mecklenburg County.
It's lower because it's graduation, summer, people getting ready for vacation. People are not listing right now.
Claudia says that there are less on the market today than there were last week. And I think last week we'll take a baseline of 1,078.
It was, I think so.
Okay.
We'll never write it down.
500,000 or less, Mecklenburg County, active, coming soon in Canopy MLS. You are wrong.
No way.
1,218. Pretty big jump, actually. Yeah. Is the market back? What do you think?
It never went anywhere. The market is hot.
I was going to use my air horns there,
No,
but it's okay.
it didn't work.
That's all right.
And we have to talk about, do we have time for Maintenance Monday?
You want to talk about Maintenance Monday?
CO smoke detectors, CO carbon monoxide and smoke detectors. Check the battery. Don't let the battery go off at 2 a.m. Very important safety, major thing.
Absolutely. You
Absolutely.
cannot see.
Don't wait
or
for
smell
the battery, the
carbon
thing
monoxide.
to start chirping in the middle of the night.
That's right.
Replace
Thank you.
them now.
Thank you, Tony. 21 Roofing Group, the number 21roofinggroup.com.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.